Good evening, everybody. My name is Ramon Giles, and I'm here representing Phalanx Family Services, and I have my colleague with me,
Nate Parker, also from Phalanx Family Services and the RISE program.
So we want to thank you for joining us, and we are Phalanx Family Services on CAN TV. This is a live call-in show. So audience, if you have any questions or comments, you can call us at the number listed on your screen, which is 312-738-1060. We're here at CAN TV every Monday at 5 o'clock. In case you didn't have a chance to join us last week, I want to reiterate some details about our program. Number one, we've moved. Phalanx Family Services is now located at 837 West 119th Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60643, next to the Calumet Park Family Community Resource Center. You can call us at 773-291-1086. You can email us at lbailey@phalanxgrpservices.org. You can also visit our website at phalanxgrpservices.org. We have programs and services that benefit adults, youth, seniors, returning citizens, and persons with disabilities. Programs which benefit employers, providing employers with great employees who are qualified, hungry to work, and can be of great benefit to your companies. And also our programs benefit education, training, and job seekers, and also our community partners and providers. Again, you can call us at 773-291-1086, and you can also visit us at phalanxgrpservices.org. So I have my colleague, Nathaniel Parker, here. He is from our youth program. Nathaniel, can you tell us tell the audience a little bit about what you do?
Well, what I do is I work with youth, troubled youth who've had run-in with the juvenile justice system, and I serve as youth from the ages of 14 to 18, giving them a sense of self, trying to introduce them to the responsibilities that they have to the community, and make them aware of the responsibility that the community has to them. But what I wanted to talk to you about tonight was the employment opportunities that's being offered by the cities for the youth for this summer. There is several different programs that's being offered at Phalanx for the youth in different capacities, such as one being Youth Corps. Youth Corps is a Green Corps. I said Youth Corps. It's Green.
I was wondering, like, that new program ain't know that? Okay, so Green Corps.
Right. And it works with youth who are in school, and they work for the summer. I think it's 20 hours per week. Mm-hmm. And for that 20 hours a week, they pay minimum wage, and they gain skills in green, what do they call it?
Horticulture. I understand it's horticulture, and they learn how to repair bikes, and they bike ride. So it's kind of combining the two, environmental kinds of activities, both the gardening and bike riding.
Correct.
Okay.
And then there's the SOAR program. SOAR program, it really doesn't pay, but it re-enters the youth into an educational arena and allows them to re-enter school and gain their high school diploma.
That's fantastic. And that SOAR program you mentioned, that's a year-round program, is it not?
Correct.
So it turns out, audience, that here at Phalanx, we are the Roseland Center for the CPS, Chicago Public Schools Re-Engagement Center, SOAR Center. And so we have within our offices the professionals who actually reach out to young people, get them re-engaged in school, they mentor them, they provide them with life skills, social skills, and also the tools they need to be able to excel in the classroom. And also they are then engaged with an alternative high school. Some of them are actually very close to graduating, so that they're able to do what's called credit recovery and actually get their high school diplomas online. And so we provide all of that at our offices through the SOAR program. But I want to hear more about these jobs for the summer jobs.
That's SYEP.
Okay.
Now, let's not forget SYEP. It's the Summer Youth Employment Program. SYEP provides employment for youth. It helps the youth identifies their area of interest. Phalanx then connects the youth to an employer that can help train them and introduce them to the world of work. And they can actually work in the field in which they think they are interested in and actually determine whether or not that's really what they want to do.
Outstanding. So can you tell the audience about maybe some successes that you've experienced in working with youth in these summer jobs, and maybe how lives have been turned around or pointed in the right direction or kept on the right path and that sort of thing? Is there any particular story that comes to mind?
Oh, yes. There's many. Because the employment is really the conduit to self-empowerment. Once they feel empowered by being able to earn a wage and help support themselves, then they feel better about themselves. I had a young man who worked the whole summer, and he was then determined to be a good employee by his employer, and he was kept on.
Really? What did he go to work as?
He was working at Burlington Coal Factory.
Okay.
Okay. And he was working in stock. He made it to the sales floor, and they kept him on. But what was outstanding about this young man is that he saved his money and purchased his own car.
How about that? How about that?
He saved his, now that's commendable for a young man to save.
Right. Especially when you're working in the retail environment. I don't even know if I could do that because, discount, paycheck going right back into the store.
Saved his money and bought his own car. Okay.
That's fantastic. I'm curious to know, what was he like before that whole mentoring experience and the summer job and that sort of thing? Was there like a big change in his personality, or was he already that kind of person and he just needed a job to save money?
He was a young man caught in turmoil. He was trying. He knew that there was something better in life, except better than the trouble he was constantly finding himself in.
And what type was that?
In the streets, trying to survive.
We're not going to mention his name, so...
No, yeah. Don't do that. Okay, and nor do I want to...
Get into many details about his life? Okay.
Right.
I can understand that.
But he wanted to stay away from gangs. He determined that that was something he did not want to do. He wanted to stay away from from drug selling. Mm-hmm. So he wanted to do something different. He was involved in, but he involved himself in boxing. Mm-hmm. And he was attempting to box, but that's a kind of a vicious sport. He went from one thing, or from one vicious aspect to another.
Well, at least he was moving in the right direction.
Well, he was trying to move out. Absolutely right.
So
getting a job.
Yes.
Once employed, boxing became secondary. Violence became secondary in his life. Helping out his family, with and I failed to mention that, but helping his grandmother, mm-hmm. who was his caregiver at that particular time, became important to him, and being able to contribute was very important to him.
How about that? And his growth as a man, as a young man.
Oh, the ability to take on responsibility and face it square in the face. Mm. Okay. And the employment provided the opportunity for him to be able to do that.
I think I remember who you were talking about. What a great story. So, I think it's just so rich for the audience to know, of course, without knowing his name or too many details, just, the depth from where he came from and the arch that he covered to where he then ended up makes it even more poignant how important that program was for him versus this is a young man who was already on a good path in life and he just needed a job to save some money. No, it was much deeper than that. So thank you for sharing that.
I want to share one more with you because
sure.
This is the one I'm really, really proud of.
Oh, okay.
This is a young man who was trying to complete his last year of high school. And he was having a lot of difficulty in doing that, just accomplishing that, going to school every day being in school was an impediment to making money.
I see.
Okay, so
Read between the lines.
so if we could figure out another way to get some money,
Right.
then maybe we'd be able to finish high school. But in the process of doing that, while working a summer job, and he was working in a garden.
Okay.
Okay, he was actually growing.
It sounds easy, folks. Garden, like, ooh, pretty flowers. No, hard labor.
In a garden. Growing new fruit. And he found out that he was soon to be a father.
Okay.
That situation got a little hairy, and the mother was unable to care for the child. He took responsibility. He took the child.
I think I know who you're talking about in that case, too. It's wonderful, yes, yes.
He took the child. Still has the child to this day.
So he has the custodial rights over the child.
He established custodial
Parentage or?
what is it? The proper word? He parental.
Guardianship?
It's not really guardianship because he has.
Custody.
Yeah, he has custody, but it's wow. I can't. What is wrong with my mind?
Well, you remember later on tonight at 11:38 p.m. when the show is totally over.
Anyway,
anyhow.
yeah, he established paternity. He established legal paternity
I see.
for
Okay.
the child, and now the child. He makes all the decisions for the child. The child stays with him. He has a job. He has two jobs. He works at a particular restaurant for a particular restaurant chain, and he works part-time for a clothing store.
Oh,
and
my
his
God.
grandmother,
Yes.
and these grandparents, so
Yes.
aren't they wonderful?
Yes, they are. Right,
Grandparents
okay.
are
All right, calm down.
His grandparents, his grandmother, assist him by babysitting
Sure.
while he works, and he's doing a phenomenal job.
And and I would imagine for that grandparent or any parent who pitches in like that, they do it with a sense of pride in knowing that their child, who, is really taking responsibility versus I'm just watching your child while you out running the streets or hanging with your friends. Like that makes taking care of that grandchild a burden. But when they're doing it for a child who is working or going to school, I bet that feels quite different.
Making a special effort.
Yes.
Being the man that she always wanted him to be.
How about that?
That is fantastic.
And how old is he?
He is 20.
He is 20.
I think he turns 21 this year.
Wow.
Turns 21 this year.
But this was like 2 or 3 years ago, wasn't it?
When we first got him,
Yes.
yes,
And
it was 2 years ago.
And he had the child soon afterwards, right?
Right.
So he was in his teens when this was kind of jumping off.
He was 19. Yes, he was 19 when the child was born.
Wow, what a fantastic story. So, both for young people out there who may be experiencing the same kind of difficulties and travails in life, you're hearing hopefully in this segment that, through employment, you really can turn these things around. For our funders, who are, out there watching these shows and wondering who should I support, what programs are really making a difference. We hope that you're hearing that the programs at Phalanx are really making a difference. And what you just heard were a few of the stories. We have a team of mentors who work with us throughout the year, and even more mentors during the summer who have just scores of young people that they work with. Those stories, the employment opportunities changing lives just happens just in just such numbers. It's just fantastic. You just heard a few.
Well, here's
Yes.
the big thing. The big thing the biggest program we didn't mention, the largest employer, would be One Summer Chicago, City of Chicago.
And I do want you to talk about that, but let me show the audience some of our slides featuring our youth programs. And so, at Phalanx, we help youth with programs which include the one you just mentioned, One Summer Chicago Plus, SYAP, which is our Summer Youth Employment Program, which you also mentioned. We also have Youth Futures, After School Matters Performing Arts Program, RISE, which is the program that my colleague Nathaniel Parker here works in as a mentor. We also have WIA, Genesis High School Mentoring, Green Corps, which is also spoken of today. The SOAR program, which was mentioned, we are the Roseland Student Outreach and Re-Engagement Center. We also have on Saturdays Project Innovation, which is a Saturday youth technology training program. Those young people are learning how to robotics, they're learning coding. I'm jealous. They're learning so much. It's fantastic. And then we also have a program which is able to touch all of our participants, both youth, adults, senior citizens, reentry citizens, and so forth, our emergency fund program, which you can get assistance when available. We have assistance for various needs that might come up. You can call Phalanx Family Services at 773-291-1086, and you can also visit us at phalanxgrpservices.org. So, Mr. Parker, you wanted to discuss the One Summer Chicago Plus program. We definitely want to hear about that, our biggest youth employment program for the summer.
I think we're going to service approximately 800 youth this summer with employment opportunities.
That's fantastic.
Through One Summer Chicago. I hope I'm correct on that number. But it's important, and I don't know whether or not the time has expired in order for youth to register for the program.
I believe that it has. There was a deadline that was the May 15th, and it was extended for about a week, and so we're just beyond that extension. It has closed, but just for people to know in general, because the program comes up every year. But you've heard something different?
Well, OneSummerChicago.org is the site. Mm-hmm. It would not hurt for anyone who's interested to go to that site to check and make sure that it has been closed, because one extension may lead to two. They may have another employment extension, and they would have the opportunity to get their name on the list and could be rewarded by being selected to participate with One Summer Chicago.
So how does that program work in general?
Well, basically, it's for any youth in the city of Chicago. All they have to do is register online. They are then contacted by a community-based organization that provides the employment opportunities.
And from what I understand, if they go online, they need to click on DFSS, Department of Family Support Services, so that you can then be routed to Phalanx in order to be part of our program. Because there are several agencies that are part of One Summer Chicago Plus. We're one of them, but you want to make sure you click on DFSS, Chicago Department of Family and Support Services.
That's right. Go on. If you want to come to Phalanx.
And however, because
however, they may live far west, they may live far north.
Sure.
There's opportunities at Lincoln Park Zoo. There's opportunities at Brookfield Zoo. There's opportunities at the Park District across the city.
All right.
There's various opportunities, but if they have some idea of what kind of employment they would like to be involved in, they could then select that category. But if they're Southside, what better place to be than Phalanx?
Of course. So I'm a young person. I go on the OneSummerChicago.org website. I apply. It's a very brief application. And so what are my chances of getting called and saying, you've been selected? What are my chances?
They're seeking to supply 2,000 jobs this year. So I would think your chances are very good.
Okay.
But the thing is whether or not you've missed that deadline.
Right. Okay. And from what I understand, last year, I believe there were over 18,000 applicants.
Yes.
And because you can imagine there's so many youth throughout the city, the program is available to all youth in the city of Chicago. And so there were many applicants, tens of thousands, I think over 18,000 that applied, 2,000 selected. And so we're talking about a ratio that's about, 1 out of every 5?
Yes, but last year, and I'm glad you brought that up, last year the state provided funds for summer employment. And
1 out of 10. Me not too good with math. Anyway,
this year that's been jeopardized by the stalemate with the budget.
Really?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
The state is not in a position because of the stalemate with the budget, no money has been allocated for those summer jobs. So the burden for summer jobs is basically on the city. And city's gone above and beyond in order to provide these jobs that are being offered. But I would...
Well, thank you very much, city government. We truly appreciate it.
I would
these
say
youth, they need these opportunities.
Absolutely they do. But
when jobs go up, crime goes down. We all know that. That's sociology 101.
And we want crime down.
Absolutely.
So we want more jobs. So we want the state to do their part. And the kids should have a write-in campaign.
Okay.
And let their representatives
Elected
know,
officials know,
elected
yes.
officials know that they need these opportunities so that they can do better.
Right, that this is important, and we hope that our elected officials will do the right thing and do right by our youth. They are our future. It's a cliche statement, but if we're not preparing our youth for the future, what are we really doing? And so, yes,
So
you're
it's
saying
a
that
task
this...
for the youth to, I'm challenging the youth to write to their elected officials and let them know, make a phone call, let them know that they should be at the forefront of this budget
fight.
dispute, this
Okay.
fight, and help them to obtain the funds that will provide these summer employment.
Because it directly affects them. How about that? And not only, I imagine that you can of course contact them via phone, but there's also other avenues in which they can, kind of rally and get the word out, or
in every community.
let their voices be heard.
Yes, go directly to the alderman's office.
Okay.
Correct. Or start a little group in school, in their classroom. Okay, they can get together and find like-minded youth that are doing or attempting to do the same thing. Come together. Okay, and the more the merrier, and the louder the voice.
Mr. Parker's old school. I was trying to say without saying it, but you can use the social networking technology and Twitter and Facebook, all the things the youth do to rally the troops and to get the word out and to really, support a cause and make their voices heard. You have all these different avenues to do it. You have way more than we had in our generations prior to you, and so in my mind, there's no excuse.
I feel
definitely your voices should be heard.
face-to-face is more effective. So go.
It absolutely
touch
is.
them.
Use
Touch them.
walk, run, boat, bike, swim, however you want to do it. Get your voices heard. So again, I want to show our audience that, and this has been such a lively discussion. Thank you very much, Mr. Parker, for joining us today. I want to show you again that Phalanx has moved, and we are now located at 837 West 119th Street in Chicago still, 60643, next to the Calumet Park Family Community Resource Center. It was a site of the former Employment Insurance Office, Employment Services Office, State Office. You can call us at 773-291-1086. You can email us at lbailey@phalanxgrpservices.org. And you can also visit our website at phalanxgrpservices.org. So, Mr. Parker, are there any parting words that you have for our audience? Either for the youth, or for our employers, or for those like you who are mentors to youth? You haven't really spoken about that. Do you have any words of advice for the people who actually help young people?
What I would like to say in the last minute here is that employers, if you have positions that these young people can fulfill for you, please contact Phalanx at 773-291-1086. Let us know that you have positions available, and we will direct the youth to your door.
We are hoping that as a business owner, you want to encourage excellence in our youth, and you know that our youth can come rough around the edges, but if you're committed to raising the future generation, giving them their first job, showing them the ropes, helping them to round out those edges and really understand the importance of hard work and effort can be a great way to turn a life around. And so we thank you in advance for those opportunities. Again, my name is Ramon Giles, and this is Nathaniel Parker, representing Phalanx Family Services, and thank you all for joining us this evening.